Good morning. I'm Father Bob Finland, the pastor of St. Richard's Parish in Bournesville and St. John the 23rd in Tamaqua. I'm here today with Stanley, a man who wears many hats here at the parish. And today he's wearing the hat of baking coach because he's going to make sure that throughout this morning, as we're preparing our food here today, nobody gets hurt and nothing gets damaged too badly. Today we are making a Pascha bread. It's a type of raisin bread that is traditionally eaten around Easter. However, you can eat it any time of year. And so we have before us what we need for our Pascha bread. We're going to need 9 to 12 cups of all-purpose flour. Preferably a little higher in gluten, I've been told, because it rises better and does its job better. Now that the amount of flour we're going to use will depend upon atmospheric conditions and Stanley's intuition. That's how we'll know how much technically to use. We'll need 3 cups of scald milk, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 stick of unsalted butter, 1 to 2 cups of raisins, depending upon your preference. Or no raisins at all. If you have a thing against raisins, we can just make the bread. We need 4 beaten eggs at room temperature. And beating our eggs. Okay.
We'll start making our dough.
And then 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 packs of dried yeast.
Yes.
So, here we go. 2/3 of our flour goes into the mixing bowl.
Move the mixing bowl out for me.
Okay. That's our mixing bowl. And flour into the mixing bowl.
That's good.
Okay.
Add your salt.
Adding salt.
And 1
pack of yeast.
Separate your... Move your salt around. There you go. Salt. Too much salt. Salt and yeast don't like each other.
Okay.
If you have too much salt, it'll affect the rise on the dough.
There's a reason I need a baking coach, because I have never baked a thing in my lifetime.
That's perfect for you. Ready? But we try to keep the flour in the bowl.
We're having a little trouble here. I have not developed those
we'll
skills
add
yet. The eggs are going in.
Okay.
May I mix?
No, just leave it
Just
like
let them like that.
that.
Okay.
Okay. Now your butter into your milk.
Into the milk.
Melt your butter.
Okay. Into the milk. Let that melt. Put our butter around. Get that to melt. A little more on the counter. We're going to be adding more yeast, this time to the milk, when the butter melts a little bit more.
You add your sugar.
Okay, sugar's going next. There.
Okay. Pour it all in. There you go.
Okay.
Mix it up.
There's our sugar. Mix that in with our scald milk and our butter. Next, yeast is... Oh, right, the raisins first. Okay. Stanley, do you prefer a lot of raisins or not as many raisins?
I
think
at least 2 cups.
You're a lots of raisins person.
Yes, I like it.
Now your lovely wife is not as big of a fan of raisins.
No.
I don't think she prefers fewer raisins. We had that discussion already. But since you were the coach today, lots of raisins.
Now we want to check our temperature so our scald milk is less than 115 degrees.
Okay.
That is another another item that will affect the working of our yeast. If your milk is too hot or your water is too hot, it'll definitely affect yeast.
Okay. How with the temperature?
Now the temperature's good, it's like 90
Okay, we're ready
degrees.
for the second pack of yeast.
Put the yeast in and we'll mix it up, leave it wait a few minutes.
Okay. We'll let our yeast do its thing. Okay.
Leave that yeast begin to work, give it a few minutes. Now we'll add the mixture to our flour, our mixing bowl.
Okay.
And we'll put it on and begin making our dough.
Now we are awaiting the yeast.
Yeah, well, the mixture of our milk and sugar and raisins to a mixing bowl, and Father begin to make the dough. Cook her up and away we go.
Adding some flour. This is the part that is not science, this is art. And Stanley will be coaching us through how much flour goes into this.
Hopefully we'll have some nice flows when we can. Now, when Father scrapes this down and takes that off, I'll grease up our proofing bowl.
Now, what do we use to grease the bowl?
Oh, a little bit of shortening. Crisco shortening works terrific. It works fine. I like to use Crisco shortening. All right.
Might we be tempted to use something besides Crisco?
You could use vegetable oil, but Crisco seems to release better.
Okay. I suggested WD-40 the other day, and Stanley
But
told me
I don't
absolutely
think
not.
WD-40 would probably make it. It might be close, but we'll have to see. Let's try this one.
Okay.
And we'll try to get that out.
Into the bowl it goes.
Yes, and then we gotta take her over and proof her up. Okay, we get a cover.
Now we cover this with the towel.
Oh, I don't have a towel. We get one
Okay.
cut. Modern ovens come equipped with a proofing cycle. But if you have a traditional oven, you preheat it, and by placing a pan of warm water underneath your dough, you're turning your oven into a professional proofing cabinet. Where we'll leave our dough rest for 35 to 45 minutes.
And at what temperature do we try to let it rest?
To proofing?
Yeah.
Or no more than 115, 100 to 115
degrees.
Good.
While our dough is proofing, it's a good time to get our baking pans ready for our next step. For this, once again, we'll be using Crisco, and Stanley is taking on the prep of the baking pans.
You can cut. We'll turn our fruit dough onto a lightly
Floured board, which I need to lightly flour.
When I'm bringing it back, I should have cooked it.
Unlike the last time I tried to flour the board, it was heavily floured. It was not pretty. So I'm going to try to lightly flour this time.
Do you think you can do the thirds?
We'll see if I have to. I just have to lightly flour a board. Remember, this
Yes,
was a disaster
lightly
the other day. It was mountains of flour.
Yes, it was.
And it's going to be, oh no, this is
It
not.
ain't bad. You don't put that. And rub it in.
Okay. I don't know. Think we're okay?
Boy, you ready? Outstanding.
Okay. Better than the last time.
All we need to do is wait on our rising dough.
Okay. Is there any way to make it rise faster?
Well,
Or does it just work on its own
you
time?
can pray.
Okay, that I can
We'll
do
Okay.
for the rising of the dough. Now that our dough is finished proofing and has risen, it is time to put this on our board.
It should flop out. Hurry up, dump it out, dump it out. There you go.
Go.
Let's work it out.
Okay. Want to lose any of our dough. And then this we're going to
Flour it a little, dust it. And work it in, and we're gonna cut that into thirds.
Danny, you left me unattended. This is dangerous. Coach? Coach? I've been left unattended. Just Coach? You left me unattended. That's dangerous.
I left you unattended.
Yeah, you left me unattended. That's
Oh.
dangerous.
That's
Okay.
looking good. Now we need to make that.
Okay.
Cut our dough into thirds. Yes. That's a third, and that's a third.
About there?
And we'll see if we can try and get 3 equal pieces. Go ahead, cut that.
I think that would work.
Then 2 are a little large.
Okay.
Cut it.
Okay.
You need to take some of this. Put it on-
Over there. Okay.
some of this, put it on this one. Oh, you did.
My measurement was a little off because I was working the metric system.
Oh,
I was working metric.
oh. We're in America. You gotta
I know, I forgot. I was using metric, so we were a little off, but we're back on track here. Little patchwork was done. The baking coach noticed it, caught it in time.
That's pretty close.
Okay.
This one here. Okay, Father, it's time
Next, we're
to
going to baking pans.
time to do your thing.
Into the baking pans.
Yes.
Into the baking pans. Goes 1. Goes 2. There goes 3. There was a training session on this, and I flattened them a little too much, so they need to let a little room to the edges
They should go.
of the baking pan, and then they will.
Cut. We take them back to the oven. Go on.
Now, before we put our dough back in for some more proofing, we do a little wash so it has a nice glow when it's done baking a little bit later. Now, what's our wash made of, Stan?
Beaten egg with a little bit of water.
Okay, so it's a very simple process. We just wash our dough with that mixture. The paintbrush that has not been used for actual painting, it's simply used for washing.
Yeah.
Into the oven for more proofing they go. We have our pot of hot water. And then what temperature are they in for now again?
350 for 30 to 35 minutes.
But that's for baking.
That's for baking.
But right now?
Right now it's around 100 degrees.
Once again.
Plus
And
with the water.
and how long will they be in this time in the 100 degrees?
30 to 45 minutes.
Okay. It just, and what does that depend on? Just what the yeast feels like today?
Yes.
Basically,
Depends-
okay.
Depends on that.
Depends what the yeast feels like today. If the yeast is working hard, it's 30, 35 minutes. The yeast is taking it easy, might be 40, 45. We will see how our yeast is doing. Our yeast has done its job. Our dough is finished proofing. Now we take the water out of the oven. We won't need that anymore. We'll not need that anymore. Our oven now goes up to 350 degrees. And we'll be baking our bread for about 30 minutes.
Okay, we turn it 350.
Okay.
And we'll
And we'll let the baking process do its thing. Now that our bread is baked and has cooled a little bit, this is our finished product, our Pascha bread. The real question and test is, how did we do?
I don't know, we'll find out. Put it on the board.
Okay. Put it front and center. I'm going to cut that in half. And try not to cut my finger. Try not to cut your fingers, Stanley. You're very brave. I have a knife.
Look here. Beautiful.
And there we have our
Now cut a slice and
Pascha
we'll try
bread.
it. Let's try some.
Give this a try. You can put onto your Pascha bread whatever you like. Traditionally, butter is a wonderful thing to use. Some people may like jellies or jams. Some may just like it the way it is. It's all up to your taste. It's all buttered up. Give it a try. Stanley, how do we do?
Delicious.
Delicious. Okay, Stanley
Very
gave it.
good, Father. Very good.
Stanley gave it.
Don't eat with your hat on.
That is true. However, I'm going to give this a try. And we are thankful because Ginny has been here filming us today, and she may want to give that a try also and see what she thinks about our Pascha bread.
Not bad.
Not bad.
For a priest who never baked, you're doing a wonderful
Well,
job.
thank you. Thank you, Coach. I think we have a successful Pascha bread here today.
That's delicious.
Yes. And so, thank you to everybody for joining us here today. We are, again, raising money, of course, and your donation greatly appreciated. For St. Richard's, we are working on refurbishing our bell tower. That needs some work. At St. John the 23rd, we have a parking lot that is in need of patching and sealing and relining. Yes, guys, we're going to get the relining done. You've been asking me for that for a while now because we have no idea where to park. The lines are gone. But we figure in the spring, we can get it sealed, we can get patched, get that lining done. Our beautiful bell tower here at St. Richard's, it's about 13 years since they were installed. It's time to shine the bells, to take care of some rust on the tower, and get those in good condition because both of our parishes have anniversaries coming up in the next year or two. For St. John the 23rd, it's their 10th. For St. Richard's, it's our 75th. We have a lot of things to celebrate, a lot more things to do. But for right now, we're just going to keep eating our Pascha bread and try it at home. Let us know how our recipe did. Thank you again, and God bless.